Good day again, everyone. Let us start with a prayer. Let us all remember that we are in the most holy presence of our Lord, in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Again, let us all pray the Lasallian prayer. I will continue, O my God, to do all my actions for the love of you. Saint John Baptist de La Salle, pray for us. Leave Jesus in our hearts forever. In the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay, so for today, no, you are going to accomplish your worksheets on activity number 5. So we have the animal tissues. So the details will be, again, discussed in the lecture. So I'm just going to instruct you, what you're going to do and how you're going to accomplish your worksheet. Now, there are 3 objectives for this activity. Number 1, you have to name the 4 major types of tissues in the body and the major subcategories of each. And then secondly, you are supposed to describe the general functions and structural characteristics of the different body tissues. And thirdly, you should be able to identify the various tissues from the prepared slides. Because then again, the major exam would comprise a practical exam and a theoretical exam. So in the practical exam, the teachers are going to prepare questions coming from the prepared slide. So you have to be familiar with the appearance or with the images under the microscope. And next week or next week, you will be given time to view the slides after the post-laboratory discussion. Okay? So in answering your worksheet, you are provided with actually 4 tables. No? So you have for table 5.1, okay, so you have here the types of tissues. First and foremost, we have the 4 major types of tissues. No? We have the epithelial tissues, we have the connective tissues, then we have the muscle tissues and the nervous tissues. Okay, so under the epithelial tissues, okay, so you're going to have to provide the distinctive characteristics, and then the function, and then the location or locations, where you can see the different types of tissues. So the pre-laboratory discussion would orient you on some of the distinctive characteristics, okay, that you can observe for you to be able to again identify the specific type of tissue, or identify the image of that particular type of tissue. So the same is true with the connective tissues, no? So let's try to distinguish them later during the discussion. So again, you have to provide the characteristics, and then the function, and then the location or locations. Now for the muscle tissues, okay, there are 3 types. You have the skeletal, you have the cardiac, and the smooth. So you have to differentiate the 3 in terms of the shapes of their cells, in terms of the number of nucleus or nuclei per cell, and then in terms of location of their nucleus or nuclei, and then whether the striations or the bands are present or absent, and then some have special characteristics, and of course their functions. No? And for the nervous system, or the nervous tissue rather, so we have the neurons and the neuroglia. So you have to identify the function of the parts of the neuron. So apart from the axon and the dendrite, okay, you have here the soma. Kindly add that, no? You have the soma. Okay, the soma or the cell body. So functions, and then of course you have the location. And then for the neuroglia, so later we're going to explain what neuroglia are. So again, their function and their location. And then you have the conclusions and the references. Okay? Now, what is a tissue? A tissue is defined to be a group of cells okay, a group of similar cells with similar functions. Okay? And in the lecture, we are going to describe or discuss the specific characteristics or the general features of animal tissues. Okay? So first we have the epithelial tissues. There are a lot of epithelial tissues. So how are they classified? So epithelial tissues are classified based from number one, you have the number of layers. So an epithelium can be classified as simple, stratified, or pseudostratified. So a simple epithelium only has a layer of cells, as seen in this figure. So you have a single layer of cells. When you say stratified naman, so you have multiple layers of cells. Okay? Because when you say strata, strata also means layers. And you have a less common arrangement. You have the pseudo-stratified. So pseudo means false, and stratified means layering. So there is false layering. So when we say pseudo-stratified epithelium, okay, you only have a layer of cells. Okay, but the the thing is, okay, some of the cells, they cannot reach the surface. Okay, so some of the cells are squeezed. Okay, but if you're going to really observe, as you have there the nuclei, parang ganyan. Okay, so if you're going to count, okay, actually you have a single layer of cells, okay, but the nuclei are located at different levels. And that accounts for the stratified appearance, no? Isa lang daw talaga yung layer ng cells, pero ang mga nuclei, ang mga ibang cells na iipit, okay, some of the cells cannot reach the surface, so the nuclei, they are found at different levels, again, giving the stratified appearance. So another basis for the classification is the shape of the cells, no? So you have squamous. We have already described a squamous cell when we discuss the animal structure, diba? So when you say squamous, so the cells are said to be flat, they are thin, they are scale-like. Okay, pag cuboidal naman, so they are like cubes. And pag columnar, they are like columns. So they are very, very tall cells. Okay? And another shape, so you have the transitional. So when you say transitional, no, the shape changes or transitions, okay, depending on whether the tissue is relaxed or stretched. Okay? Like ito, no, you have here a view of the relaxed epithelium, and then you have the stretched epithelium. Like this type of epithelium lines the urinary bladder, and we all know that when the bladder is not yet filled with urine, okay, so the epithelium consists of the stratified squamous type. So the apical cells, they are plump, they are rounded, but when the urinary bladder is filled with urine, of course, there is an increase in the volume and the epithelium stretches, right? So the plump cells, when they become stretched, okay, they become squamous in shape. Okay, when they are relaxed, they are rounded to cuboidal, no? But when they are stretched, they are said to be squamous in shape. So there is a change, depending on whether the epithelium is in its relaxed state or in its stretched state. Okay, now to classify the covering or the lining epithelia, you have actually the combination of the number of layers and the cell shape. Okay, so if you have a layer of squamous cells, so you have the simple squamous epithelium. So a layer of cuboidal cells, so you have the simple cuboidal epithelium. A layer of columnar cells, you have the simple columnar epithelium. So if you have multiple layers of the epithelium, or the epithelia rather, so you have multiple squamous epithelium. and then multiple cuboidal epithelium, and then multiple columnar epithelium. Okay? And again, we have the less common arrangement. You have the pseudostratified columnar lang. No? We don't have pseudostratified squamous and pseudostratified cuboidal. Now, how do you name a stratified epithelium? I forgot to provide an illustration. So, kunwari ganito, no? So these are just examples. Yeah. So this is stratified squamous, stratified cuboidal, and stratified columnar. Okay? So stratified again because you have 2 or more layers of the cells, and the name squamous, no, squamous, cuboidal, and columnar, no, they're actually dependent on the topmost layer of cells. Okay? So that's why this is stratified squamous, stratified cuboidal, and then stratified columnar. Okay? Now for the classification of epithelia as two functions, we have the covering and the lining epithelium. So this would be discussed in the laboratory. This will be covered in the laboratory. And then we have other classification of epithelia, no, based from functions. We have the glandular, we have the sensory epithelia, and the germinal epithelia. So this will be discussed in your lecture. Okay. Now, what about the simple epithelia, no? Also, during our post-laboratory discussion, we would differentiate the functions, no? Why simple epithelia, why stratified epithelia, okay? So we have here a sample of the simple cuboidal epithelium. So for the sake of our pre-laboratory lang, no, discussion, as to the specimen in the lab. So this is the specimen of the lungs, no? So you have the alveoli. So the alveoli are lined with simple squamous epithelium. So they are really, yan, squamous siya, no, parang yan, flat. So take note, no, when you look at the image of the microscope, or image pala of the specimen under the microscope, okay, you try to remember that mostly if you have one nucleus, that's the nucleus of one cell. So if you're able to see here, for example, 1, 2, 3, so these are 3 cells already, and you just have to imagine their borders, no? Like ito. So you have 1, squamous, tapos you have 2, tapos you have 3. Because anyway, no, the appearance of the cell depends on the preparation of the specimen, no? So you have stratified squamous epithelium, 1 layer of squamous cells. You have, simple, no? So simple squamous epithelium, no, 1 layer of cells. Then you have simple cuboidal, a layer of cube-like cells. It shows you here a cross-section of the kidney, no? So the kidney tubules. Okay, so parang tubular yan, no? Tapos yan. So a cross-section is made, and then it's made into a slide, so you see the structure yan, no? So this is one. Yan, this is one kidney tubule. Okay, and the kidney tubule is made up of simple cuboidal cells. Okay? And then this is our actual specimen in the lab. Again, you have the kidney tubules. Again, you have here, yan, one kidney tubule. Okay, with the cuboidal cells. So again, just imagine the partitions or the cell membranes. Okay? And then we have the simple columnar epithelium. Yeah, simple columnar. So you have here a single layer of very, very tall cells. In this particular example, you're seeing the cell membrane. So yeah. So in another example. So you have here very, very tall cells. So usually one nucleus, one cell. Okay? So in the lab, we have a section of the jejunum. Jejunum is part of the small intestine. No? So this is under LPO, this is under high power objective. So when you locate, you will be given a slide. Of course, it's a tissue. It's a combination of epithelial, connective, etc., etc. So you have to locate the particular target tissue, no? If it's an epithelium or if it's a connective tissue. So you have to search. So under high power objective, ito, no? You have here the presence of a simple columnar epithelium. So yan, no? Okay. And then we have ito, pseudostratified columnar epithelium. So this particular example is the pseudostratified ciliated, no? Because you have here the presence of cilia. Okay? And this lines the respiratory tract. So ito. Okay? So again, it's called pseudostratified because if you are going to note, no, you have a single layer of cells. Okay, but the nuclei are located at different levels, accounting for the stratified appearance. Okay, so our sample in the lab, so this is a section of the trachea, the windpipe. So ito, no? So you have here the epithelium. It seems stratified, okay, but it only, again, no, consists of a single layer of cells. Okay, so you have here the very, very tall cells, and then you have here the cilia. And then we have the stratified epithelia. So in the lab, okay, we have two specimens lang no? We have the stratified squamous, okay, keratinized. So when you say keratinized, it's found in the skin. Okay, so you have here ito. So this is the stratified epithelium, no? So stratified squamous. Again, you have so many layers of cells, and the uppermost cells are squamous or scale-like or thin and flat, or thin or flat, no? And it's called keratinized because the uppermost cells or the squamous cells are deposited with keratin. So keratin is the major protein, di ba? Found in the hair, in the nail, and in the skin, no? So keratin makes the skin, the nails, the hair waterproof, okay? So in the lab, so you have here a cross-section of the skin. So actually, no, you can see here the hair, you can see the hair follicle, you can see an oil gland, and if you're after the epithelium, this is the epithelium, okay, the lining. And if you're going to observe that under high power objective, so you have here the epithelium. So from this part, yan, up to that part, okay? So you have several layers of cells. And again, no, the topmost cells are squamous in shape. That's why it's called stratified squamous. And again, no, it's keratinized since it's found in the skin. Now, the other type, you have the stratified squamous non-keratinized. And they line the gut. Okay? So from the oral cavity, no, down to the anus. So it's lined with stratified. Ito, no? Yan, stratified squamous, okay, non-keratinized. So the cells are not deposited with keratin. Because remember, no, the lining of the gut is always moist. Okay? So it's moisture is very important in the function of the entire gut. So ito rin, no, another view. So again, from here, kasi itong part na to, that's already the connective tissue layer, no? So from here to up, yan. So that's your stratified, no, stratified squamous, non-keratinized. So again, no, the cells are squamous or yan, parang flat or thin. Okay? And then we have another view of stratified squamous epithelium non-keratinized. I think this is a section of the esophagus pa rin, ano? So again, from this part to this part. Yan, the cells there are again very flat, no, or thin. And then we have our actual slide. No, you have the trachea. Sorry, the esophagus. So from here, okay, to there. And as you can see, ayan, no, it's very clear that the cells are flat. Okay? And then yung transitional, so the transitional epithelium lines portions of the urinary tract, no? So you have the urinary bladder, you have the ureter, and then you have the urethra. And as we explained earlier, it's called transitional epithelium, okay, because the topmost cells, it's stratified, no? It's stratified, but the topmost cells are again plump or rounded or cuboidal in shape when the epithelium is relaxed, and when the epithelium becomes stretched or distended, the cells, no, they assume the squamous shape. Okay? So ito, no? So under the microscope, you try to see, so if there are several layers of cells, yan, and if you see very, very rounded cells, okay, relatively compared to the others. So it's a transitional epithelium. So ito, no? You see here this cell. Okay, compared to the rest of the cells. Okay? So ito pa, no? So you have here several layers of epithelia, and then the uppermost cells are rounded. Okay? And our slide. So this is the slide of the urinary bladder. Again, you have so many layers of cells, and the upper cells are really rounded. Yan, no? So that's your clue, okay, that you're seeing the transitional epithelium. This is, again, no, the connective tissue part, okay? Now for the animal, for the epithelial tissues again, so for every type, okay, you have to provide the distinctive characteristics, the function or functions, and then location or locations, okay? Okay, now for the connective tissues. So the connective tissues are said to be the most abundant and most widely distributed. No, it's very logical because connective tissues from the term, no, they connect other tissues together. They they bind tissues together, and they have a lot of functions depending on the type of connective tissue. And they are characterized by a large amount of extracellular matrix. So we are going to see that later. So again, when you say extracellular, so that's the material, okay, that is located outside of the cell. Okay? And eto, no? So the connective tissues being the most abundant and most widely distributed, now they have a lot of functions. And the functions are dependent on the types of connective tissue. Like, for example, no, forming the skeleton is the function of the bone tissue. Okay, store and carry nutrients. So, like, for example, carrying nutrients is a function of the blood or the vascular tissue. Fighting infection is also a function of the blood or the connective tissue. Okay, supporting other tissues and organs. So this could be functions of cartilages and dense regular and dense irregular connective tissue, and so on and so forth. So as we, again, no, during the post-laboratory discussion, we are going to discuss those. Okay. Now, again, uh, um, characteristic of a connective tissue is that it has a large amount of extracellular matrix. So ito actually yun, ano? So you have here the ground substance. Okay? So the ground substance is actually one of the three basic elements of a connective tissue. So you have the ground substance, okay, and then you have the different types of cells. Okay? So ito, no? So these are the cellular components. Yan. Okay, so pangalawa. And then third, of course, you have the fibers. Okay, so you have three types of fibers. You have elastic, and then you have the collagen fibers, and then you have the reticular fibers. And later, no, we would try to describe them so that you can easily see them under the microscope. So again, these are the three basic elements of a connective tissue. Now you have the matrix, no, the ground substance or the matrix. So the matrix, that's actually a semi-solid, semi-liquid, okay, part of the connective tissue depending on the type of tissue pa rin, no? So, hindi pala lahat ay semi-liquid. Like for example, the bone, no? The bone has a very hard matrix, okay? So again, the nature of the matrix or the ground substance is again dependent on the type of tissue. So basta ito, so these are the substances that fill the spaces in between the cells and the fibers. So you take all the cells and the fibers, you remove them all. So what would be left would be the ground substance or the matrix of the connective tissue. Okay? Now there are, okay, in terms of, ito mahaba to ano. So these are the mature connective tissues. So we have the loose connective tissue. So under the loose, we have areolar, adipose, and reticular. Then we have the dense connective tissue, dense regular, and dense irregular. So when you say loose connective tissue, the cells are loosely arranged. No, the cells are loosely arranged, and the connective tissues, okay, they contain more of the cells and less of the fibers. Okay? Pag dense connective tissue naman, okay, they contain less cells and they contain more fibers. And later, no, the regular and the irregular describes the arrangement of the fibers. Okay? Under the specialized type, we have cartilages. We have three types: hyaline, elastic, and fibro. And then we have the bone. You have the compact and the spongy or the cancellous bone. And then, of course, the blood. Yes, no? So the blood is a connective tissue. It's the only liquid connective tissue. Okay? Now, let's take them one by one. So this is the areolar connective tissue. So again, when we say loose, no? So the fibers are loosely arranged and you have more cells compared to the fibers. Okay? So you have here under low power objective. This is under high power objective. Okay, or maybe under oil immersion pa siguro to, no? So ito, how do you distinguish now the three types of fibers? Okay? So going back, sige, tingnan natin muna, no? So you have here the three types of fibers. So first, we have the collagen fibers. Ito. So the collagen fibers, usually they form bundles. So they are thicker. No? The images are said to be thicker. And they are light pink in color. Then we have the elastic fibers. Okay, the elastic fibers are really branching. Okay, they are thinner and they stain either black or dark violet, no, depending on the stain utilized in the preparation of the slide. Okay, and then you have here the reticular fibers. Usually they stain dark brown, no, parang no, it assumes the color of the iodine solution that we utilized last time. Okay, so those are some ways in which you can distinguish the fibers under the microscope. Ano? One is their whether they are forming a bundle or not, whether they are thick or not, and their color, no? Because the color, again, is dependent on the particular stain that was used to prepare the slide. Okay? Now, going back, so ito, so we have here, ito, no? Yan, yung makapal. So you have here the collagen fibers. So again, they form bundles, tapos they stain yan, no? In this case, like pink, diba? So alam mo na agad na collagen fibers yan. And then ito, dark purple fibers, no, thinner fibers. Okay, so these are the elastic fibers. In this particular example, you don't see the reticular fibers. Okay, because the stain that was utilized, no, only shows only shows the collagen. Ito, no, collagen fibers and the elastic fibers. Okay. So ito, going back, so this is an areolar connective tissue. Okay, and the areolar connective tissue is said to be compared no, to the other tissues, this is the most widespread. Okay, so you can see here the nuclei of cells, but again, no, we are not very sure what these cells are. Okay, we can't really distinguish them under the microscope because we're only seeing their nuclei. Okay, so again, ito, the spaces here, they are filled with the matrix or the ground substance. Okay, now we have our actual specimen. So again, ito, no, you have here the collagen fibers. Yan. Tapos you have here the elastic fibers. Tapos you have here the nuclei of the cells. Okay? Tapos ito syempre, yung part na yun ulit, yung matrix ng connective tissue, ng areolar connective tissue. So next we have the loose connective tissue. Sorry, the adipose. No, adipose is another type of connective tissue. So adipose or the fat tissue. Okay. So ayan, no? So representation, ito. So a fat cell is called an adipocyte. Okay. An adipose cell or an adipocyte. So again, the suffix cyte now from ketos means cells. So this is a fat cell. Okay. And then if you're going to see an adipocyte, it does not follow the usual characteristic of a generalized animal cell in which the nucleus is found at the center. Now, because usually, okay, their nucleus or their nuclei rather, so ayan, no, they are pushed to the side of the membrane. Okay, because the this part of the membrane, no? So most part of the cell actually contains fats. So because of that amount of fat, so the nucleus is pushed to the side. Okay? So this makes the skin, 'di ba, round. So pag medyo ma-healthy, medyo mataba, marami ring taba na nakastore sa mga cells. Pag payat naman, konti lang yung taba na nakastore sa mga fat cells or adipocytes. Okay? Yan. So this is the actual slide, magnified under high power objective. So these are the adipocytes. Okay? Rounded cells. And then you see the nuclei. Okay? So yan, no? Yun. Okay? And then we have another loose connective tissue. We have the reticular. So it says here, no, the reticular tissue actually contains the three types of fibers. It contains the elastic fibers, the collagen fibers, and of course, the reticular fibers. But the reticular fibers are said to be the most numerous. Ito yung mga reticular fibers, no? They are thicker compared to the elastic, di ba? And they are darker, di ba? They are darkly stained. So, ayan. No? And then, so ito, this is the actual. So you have here the reticular fiber. So they stain parang black or brown, like the color of the iodine solution, di ba? So yan. Yeah? And then, ito, we have the dense already, no? So we said, for the dense connective tissue, you have more of the fibers and then less of the cells. Okay? So ito, you can actually see here more of the fibers yan eh, no? Yan. But the dark ones, yung mga yan, yan, they are actually the nuclei of cells. But comparing the nuclei, no, to the fibers, so the fibers are more numerous. Okay? And when we say dense regular, okay, dense regular connective tissue, no, regular in that the fibers are arranged in a parallel manner. Okay, they are arranged in a parallel manner. So they have a regular arrangement. So pag ganyan, no? And this is found in an example is the tendon. Kasi our specimen, no, in the lab is the tendon. So ito, you have here we have the dense, no? Yan lahat, actually lahat yan eh. We have the dense regular connective tissue. So if you're going to further magnify that, so ito yon. So you have the presence of collagen fibers, no? Kasi kulay pink. And then you have here the nuclei of cells. Okay? And the fibers are arranged in a parallel manner. Now, what about the dense irregular connective tissue? Okay, so when you say the irregular, the fibers are oriented in so many directions. Okay, they are not arranged in a parallel manner. So, example, you have here the perichondrium. So, from the prefix peri, it means around. Chondrium, chondro means cartilage. So that's the covering of the cartilage. So this is the perichondrium. Okay, and the fibers are more irregularly arranged, no? They are going to different directions compared to the dense regular connective tissue. So if you have here the letter, ito. So you have here the periosteum naman. So again, peri around the bone, osteon. So osteon, osteum pertains to bone. So ito naman yun, no? So this is the covering of the bone naman. So yan. Again, it's made up of dense, irregular connective tissue. So ito yon, itong part na to. Okay? So yan. And then, okay, no, so ito. So this is an actual view of, this is actually elastic cartilage yung slide, no? But ito, we are after the perichondrium, the covering of the cartilage. So again, no, compared to the tendon, the fibers are more irregularly arranged. Okay, and then we have the cartilages. Now we have 3 types. So first we have the hyaline cartilage. So the hyaline cartilage, just for the sake of the discussion, like for example, it's found at the ends of the long bones. Usually they are very important in the formation of the joint. No? So general functions, general structures muna. No? So we call cartilage cells as chondrocytes. So again, from the prefix chondro, meaning cartilage, and then suffix cyte, meaning cell. Okay, so general yan, no, for all types of cartilage. So again, the cells are called the chondrocytes. So these are the chondrocytes. Very nice, no? Yan. And they are actually housed within spaces. So the spaces are called lacunae, singular, lacuna. So ito, no? So you have, yan, lacuna, lacuna, again, plural, lacunae. So ito, you have here lacuna, yan, lacuna. Okay? So how do you distinguish the hyaline cartilage from the other 2 types? No? So halimbawa, if you're going to get the tracheal cartilage and then prepare a slide, so halimbawa, no, yan, kumuha niyan as a slide is prepared. So ito yung hyaline cartilage. Okay? And further magnified, you have here the chondrocytes. Yan, chondrocytes. Tapos you have here the lacuna, yan, lacuna, etc., etc. And you are going to see that, no, since it's the trachea, diba, tracheal cartilage, okay, it's made up of the, ito, pseudostratified ciliated columnar epithelium. Okay? So our actual slide. Okay, so you have hyaline cartilage under low power, under high power objective. Okay, so how would you distinguish if it's a hyaline cartilage? Usually, it's colored light pink or light blue. No? The light pink or the light blue is again attributed to the presence of collagen fibers. So, yan. So, pwedeng light pink, pwedeng light blue. In this case kasi light blue. Kasi ang halos lahat, collagen fibers. Okay? But why can't we see the fibers? The collagen fibers are so thin that we don't really see the actual fibers, no? But pero sila yan. And then, you can see the chondrocytes. So, ayan na sila, no? So, the chondrocytes within their lacunae. So, yan, no? So, next we have the elastic fibers. Sorry, elastic cartilage. So, the elastic cartilage can be found in our ear, no? The pinna of the ear. Tas ito yung epiglottis. So the epiglottis is actually one of the supporting cartilage of the voice box or the larynx. So in the lecture, we're going to discuss that. So if you're going to, if you're going to get a portion of the epiglottis or the cartilage, elastic cartilage, so under the LPO, so ito yung appearance niya, yan. So under high power, ito. It's actually my favorite na because it's a very, very pretty cartilage. Ayan, no? So you can see the osteocytes and their lacunae. Okay? Ito, this is the perichondrium. Again, this is the dense irregular connective tissue. Okay? So actual slide in the lab, magnified under high power objective. So again, you see the chondrocytes and the lacunae. And why is it called elastic fibers? So predominantly, no, the fibers that are most numerous are the elastic fibers. So they stain dark purple. Kaya tatandaan niyo yung mga kulay ng mga fibers kasi they are your clues, no, during your practical exam. Okay? And then last type, you have the fibrocartilage. Okay, fibrocartilage. Like if you are going to get the intervertebral disc, so ito, no? So that's actually a cartilage connecting the bodies of the vertebrae. So if it's prepared under the microscope, so ito yan, no? Fibrocartilage. Yan. And again, since the fibrocartilage is darker blue in color compared to your hyaline, so there is again the predominance of the collagen fibers. Okay? So LPO and then HPO. So ito yung collagen fibers. And then you have here the chondrocytes. Okay? Our actual specimen ng fibrocartilage. So again, LPO, HPO, yan, no? You're able to see collagen fibers and again, the chondrocytes inside their lacunae. Okay? Now, for the bone or the osseous tissue, now we call the bone also as the osseous tissue. So we have two types of bone tissues. Okay, you have the compact bone. So from the term compact, so this is actually the harder part of the bone. And when you say compact, there are no spaces. Kasi ito yung spongy bone. Okay, spongy bone or the cancellous bone. So spongy, okay, because in between the matrices, you have here spaces, no? And the spaces are occupied by the red bone marrow. Now, let's try to see the compact bone first. So if you get a section, okay, of the compact bone, so this is how it's represented. So ito yon, no? So it's made up of the functional unit of the bone, okay, which is called the osteon or the Haversian system. So ito, okay, so each is called an osteon. That's the functional unit of the bone. Okay? So ito siya, no? So this is an osteon or a Haversian system. That's why the prefix osteo is utilized to refer to bone tissue. Okay? Yeah, osteoporosis, osteomalacia, no? So, where did the term osteon come from? So it came from the name of the bone cells, which are the osteocytes. So these are osteocytes. Ito, no? These are the osteocytes. So let's try to see the organization of an osteon or a Haversian system. So at the middle, you have the Haversian canal. Again, no, in our post-lab, we're going to fully discuss especially the functions. And the matrix is actually made up of concentric rings. Paikot. Ano, paikot ang matrix niya. Okay? So each concentric ring is called a lamella. So plural, lamellae. Okay, so yan. So isang lamella, isa pang lamella. And in between the lamellae, you have here the spaces. No, the spaces are also called the lacunae, like that of the chondrocytes. And then inside the spaces, you have here the osteocytes. Okay? So those are the parts of the Haversian system. So ito din, no? Another example. So you have a piece of the compact bone showing you the different osteons or the different Haversian systems. Yan. So further magnifying, so ito yung central canal or Haversian canal. Then you have here the lamellae. And then you have here the osteocytes inside. No? And then, I forgot to mention, they have processes no? So ito, actually these are tiny canals. Okay? So they are called, may label ba dito? Wala. So they are called canaliculi, singular canaliculus. Kaya they are tiny canals, no? Canaliculus. So plural, canaliculi. Okay? And again, well, we are going to discuss their functions. So ito yan, mga canaliculi. Okay? So yan, para mga buhok-buhok or para mga pilik mata. So we call them the canaliculi. Okay? So the canaliculi, they all terminate going to the central canal. And again, in our post-lab, we're going to explain why. No? And then actual specimen of a compact bone. Can you see there the osteons? So again, compact because there are no spaces in between the osteons. So LPO, no? Gaganda ng osteons, diba? So yan. And then high power. So ito. You have the Haversian canal, you have the canaliculi, you have the osteocytes, no? Sorry, you have the lamellae pala yan, no? Tapos you have the canaliculi. Okay? Even larger view. But this is, ito rin yun, no? I only took a part. It's not magnified under the high power, under the oil immersion. High power pa rin to, no? So osteocyte lacuna, you have the canaliculi, you have the lamellae. You have the central canal. Okay? Then we have another type of bone, we have the spongy bone. The spongy bone or the cancellous bone. Hindi cancerous ha, cancellous. Okay? So it's called again spongy because there are spaces. Okay, there are a lot of spaces, no? In between the matrices. So ito yung mga matrices. Okay? So ito. Again, the matrix in a compact bone is arranged is arranged concentrically, 'di ba? Paikot sila. They have irregular matrices. So if you're going to further magnify, ito 'yon. So this is yan. This is one matrix. So each irregular matrix is called a trabecula. So plural, trabeculae. So these are the trabeculae. Okay? Yan, no? So that's why it's called spongy bone kasi in between the trabeculae, you have spaces. And the spaces, yan, no? The spaces are occupied by a vascular tissue. You have the red bone marrow, which we are going to discuss in a while, no? Okay, now for the blood, you're familiar with this already, di ba? So again, no? So looking at the spaces of the spongy bone, okay, you have here the hemopoietic tissue. So when you say hemo, it means blood, no? Poietic, poiesis meaning origin pa rin yan eh, no? So it means this is the tissue to the blood cells. So they are the ones growing, differentiating to become red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Okay? So you call this the hematopoietic tissue. This is actually the red bone marrow, no? Okay, the red bone marrow. The red bone marrow is made up of hematopoietic tissue. Okay? And then, of course, we have the blood. So again, no, the blood is the only flowing connective tissue. So it's a connective tissue because it connects all the other types of tissues kasi they have to supply blood to all the cells. Again, we have here the red blood cells, or we failed to mention this in the post-lab last time, no? So we call them the red blood cells or the red blood corpuscles or RBCs, or we call them the erythrocytes. Okay? Erythro meaning red. So red cells. So these are the RBCs, the red blood corpuscles. Okay? And then of course, ito, you have here the white blood cells. Different types of white blood cells. So we have discussed this last time, no? So we call them the leukocytes. Okay, leuko means lucid because they don't have a color, diba? When they are alive, they don't have colors. Like when you draw your blood, whole blood last time, diba? So they are unstained under the microscope. Okay? At ito, erythro naman, red, kasi nga they contain hemoglobin. And hemoglobin, when bound to oxygen, no, hemoglobin is deep red in color, giving the red appearance. Okay, and then ito, we see here the platelets eh. Okay, platelets. Okay, so platelets are called the thrombo naman, no? Thrombocytes. So again, in the lecture or in the lab, we are going to explain why thrombocytes. So they are very important naman in blood clotting. Na? Okay, and then for the connective tissues again, you have for each supply, no, distinctive characteristics, function, and then location. And we have the muscular tissues naman. There are 3 types of muscular tissues. So let's try to see the names of the parts na. So first, the cell membrane, ito, that's called the sarcolemma. Okay, sarcolemma, di ba? The typical cell membrane is the plasma lemma, di ba? But in muscles, it's called specifically the sarcolemma because the prefix sarco comes from the functional unit of a muscle. Okay, we call that the sarcomere. So in our lecture, we are going to discuss that, no? Ano ba yung sarcomere? Why is a sarcomere called the functional unit of the muscle? And then the cytoplasm is called the sarcoplasm. And then nucleus pa rin naman siya, no? And then 2 of the 3 muscle tissues are provided with striations or lines. So ito, no? Okay? So these are the striations. Again, in the lecture, okay, we're going to know what are these lines kasi meron tayong thick lines at saka thin lines eh. So actually ito, you're seeing here, yan. Meron tinatawag kasing A band and I band. So again, in the lecture na lang yan, no? So ito, so you have, again, a section of the skeletal muscle fibers or tissues, no? Showing you the sarcolemma, the nucleus, because you have here the, yan, sarcoplasm, tapos you have here the striations. Okay? So actual specimen natin, nucleus again, sarcolemma, then you have the sarcoplasm and then the striations. Okay? Skeletal. So skeletal muscles are elongated. No? They are elongated. And in order for you to distinguish them under the microscope compared especially to the cardiac muscle, so a cell contains so many nuclei. Tulad dito, no? So isang cell lang to. Pero marami yung nuclei niya. Okay? And the nuclei are located on the periphery of the cell. So again, in the lecture, we're going to explain that. No? Now, another type is the cardiac muscle tissue. Okay, a special character of the cardiac muscle tissue is that it's branching. Okay, so branching is also termed anastomosing. Okay, anastomosing. So that's the verb. Okay, pag noun, so anastomosis, that's the branching network, no? Okay, anastomosis ang tawag doon. Yan, branching network yan. Okay, compared to a skeletal muscle, di ba? So they are not branching. They only form long cylinders. Okay, so yan, now we're answering some of the points in your manual na or in your worksheet. And then another special feature of the cardiac muscle is that they are connected, no, by the intercalated disc. So the intercalated disc, they are actually boundaries of cardiac cells. And in the lecture, we're going to discuss now why are the cardiac cells provided with intercalated disc. So it means, so if you have the intercalated disc here, this one, and this one, this is one cell. Okay? And it's also provided with striations. Yan. So meron din siya ito. striations. So ito, this represent the intercalated disc. Okay? But for the parts, ganun pa rin, no? You have the sarcolemma, sarcoplasm. Kasi you have the nucleus pa din. Okay? So ito, sa slide, ito yung intercalated disc. Yan. Okay? So, under the microscope, you have to be very keen in locating the intercalated disc. So ito, no? A sample of the cardiac muscle. It's like, no, at first glance, it's like the skeletal. Okay, but the skeletal talaga, no, they form cylinders talaga. Eh. Usually, they are more separated compared to the cardiac. Okay? So, actual specimen in the lab. So, ganun pa rin. You have the sarcolemma, you have the sarcoplasm. Tapos ito, you have the intercalated disc. Yan. Ito. Ito. Okay? The lines are faint, ayan, no? But they also are striated. Okay? So lastly, we have the smooth muscle. So it's called a smooth muscle because there are no striations. Wala silang guhit-guhit. No? That's why it's called smooth. And in terms of shape, they are said to be spindle-shaped. Okay? Pag sinabing spindle-shaped, the central area is large and the ends are pointy or pointed or tapered. So yun ang shape niya, no? Spindle. So ganyan. Okay? So ito, so imagine, no? So the purple ones are the nuclei. You don't really see the you don't really distinguish the shape. But if you're going to imagine, ganun siya. Yan, no? Tabi-tabi. Yun, ganun, no? So same pa rin, you have the sarcolemma, sarcoplasm, you have the nucleus. Okay? So ito, no? So you have smooth muscles, yan. Usually, the smooth muscles, they line the walls of our internal organs. Eh. Ay, malaki masyado. Yun, mga ganon. Okay? And then, ito, yung actual specimen natin sa lab. Okay, so smooth muscle. So don't mistake them for the tendon, yung dens regular. Pag tendon or dens regular, di ba, the nuclei are very, very thin eh. Parang ganun lang. Di ba? Kasi baka magkamali kayo eh. O, going back, nasa na yun? Tendon. Layo na pala. Yan, di ba? So don't mistake the tendon for the smooth muscle kasi ito, you see less cells. Tapos you see more of the fibers eh, no? Okay? Pag smooth muscle, of course, you have a lot of nuclei representing a lot of cells. Yan. Okay? Kasi yan, no? You might mistake it for a tendon eh, no? You should not kasi you have a lot of cells there. Okay? Yan. So again, no, you're going to compare the three types of muscles utilizing the different characters, okay, and also the functions. And lastly, for the nervous tissue, okay, you have here the presence of the neurons and the neuroglia. So the functional unit of the nervous system is the neuron or the neuroglia, neuron rather, no, or the nerve cell. Okay? And then when you say neuroglia, all the rest, lahat ng yan, yung mga tuldok-tuldok na yan, they represent the nuclei of different cells. Okay? And collectively, we call them the neuroglia. Okay? So when you say glia, it means glue. So they are gluing the other nervous tissues together because there are there are 5 types of neuroglia and we are going to discuss them when we go to the lecture na lang, no? So this neuroglia, yan, mga yan, lahat ng yan, they are responsible for nourishing the cell, for protecting the cell, for acting as phagocytes, for producing the myelin sheaths, and so on and so forth, no? Kasi there are not 5 types, okay? So yan, no? So you have the neuron. you have here the parts, yung cell body. Diba? So going back ito. So you have here the, saan na? Ay, wala. Yun, you have here the cell body, the large area. And the very, very long ones, ito, we're not very sure, no? If it's the axon or the dendrite. Pero looking at this, ay, hindi masyado. Kasi I'm not sure if this is the axon or this one. No, but anyway, so again, no, in our lecture, we're going to discuss the processes. So actual specimen, you have here the cerebrum. So cerebrum is a part of our brain. So if you are going to magnify this part, you're going to see a lot of neurons showing the cell bodies. Okay? Then you have here the spinal cord. So ito naman, sa region na to. Okay? Yan. So you can see again, no, cell bodies of neurons. And the rest are neuroglia. Okay? So again, to finalize, no? So again, try to identify the functions of the parts of the neuron. So you have the cell body ulit or the soma. Yeah, no? And then location, and then neuroglia, and then the functions. And then you have typical conclusions and the references. Okay? So you are given time to do this, and you are to submit this on or before Tuesday next week. Okay, so again, upload a copy, no? Okay, so again, upload a copy of your worksheet in PDF. So I'll be creating a Dropbox again in our school book. So again, no, we are going to, I'm going to collect your worksheets next week. We are going to meet on Tuesday kasi you have to get the ano ba yun, the skeleton and also your preserved specimen. So I'll be chatting you using our messenger about the container, no, that you're supposed to bring in order for you to get the specimen. Okay? So see you next week. I'll be ending the recording now.